it suddenly started coming down fast. Blades shredding the pavement as it slammed into Highway 50 around 7 p.m.
But it was a horrible, horrible scene. Never seen nothing like that in my life.
Isabella Lozano says she slammed on her brakes as it crashed right in front of her. Then her grandson, Christopher, among others, sprang into action to free the female crew member trapped underneath it.
Like a bunch of people came and we helped lift the helicopter and we pulled her under. We had to pull her from under.
There were no patients on board, and the pilot and 2 crew members are in critical condition, but alive tonight. Many calling it a miracle. The single-engine Airbus EC-130T2 did not hit any cars, and the chopper's crash-resistant fuel system, mandatory in all newly manufactured civil helicopters since 2020, appears to have worked as designed, preventing a post-crash explosion. David, the FAA says it's taking the lead in the investigation, and the company the helicopter was registered to, Reach Air Medical Services, they say they are cooperating with that investigation.
David, Matt Gutman from Los Angeles. Matt, thank you. Now to the former NFL star quarterback Mark Sanchez, arrested in his hospital bed after that alleged altercation. Tonight, what the prosecutor in this case is now telling ABC News. Matt Rivers from Indianapolis.
Prosecutors telling ABC News tonight they are not ruling out upgrading more charges against former New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez. The lead prosecutor, Ryan Mears, telling me video evidence determined Sanchez, who's now charged with a felony, was the clear aggressor when he attacked 69-year-old Perry Toll over parking. Toll, a delivery truck driver, was in the middle of his shift when Sanchez approached.
The confrontation doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense. Aggravated battery is even a more serious charge or crime that could potentially be at play here.
The altercation happening right there. Police saying Sanchez attacked the delivery driver. The driver then responding, they say, in self-defense, using pepper spray, even stabbing Sanchez several times. Bleeding, he then takes off down that alleyway. Around 12:30 a.m. Saturday, Sanchez, now a Fox Sports analyst, is seen here bloodied in surveillance video obtained by the New York Post. The former NFL star clutching his chest, stumbling. Toll telling police he thought Sanchez was, quote, trying to kill me.
My client was just the victim of a unprovoked, senseless attack.
Toll's severe injuries seen here in this hospital photo obtained by ABC affiliate WRTV. David, Sanchez underwent surgery and has since posted bond. His family says he is focused on his recovery and at this point is focused on the legal process moving forward. David?
Matt Rivers reporting for us. Matt, thank you. Overseas tonight, it's been 2 years now since the October 7th attack by Hamas. Well, tonight, the high-stakes talks underway to end this war and what's now expected tomorrow. Ian Panel in Tel Aviv for us.
Real hope tonight, 2 years after Hamas' deadly attack on Israel, as peace talks ramp up in Egypt. Top officials from the US, Qatar, Turkey and Israel set to join tomorrow as momentum grows for a deal to end the war and bring all the remaining hostages home. Israel today pausing to mark the moment Hamas attacked, killing 1,200 people, taking 251 more hostage. On the morning of October 7th, 2023, thousands of Hamas militants stormed across the border into Israel, many of them coming here where there was a music festival taking place. At the sound of gunfire, panic and terror spread through the crowds as they tried to escape as a gunman opened fire. Tal Haimi died defending his kibbutz, his body still being held by Hamas in Gaza. Tonight, his cousin Udi praising President Trump's push for peace.
Has President Trump's direct involvement in this made a difference?
This would have not have happened. This wouldn't have happened without the direct involvement of President Trump. I have no doubt in my mind.
Our team on the ground in Gaza, where 2 years of bloody war have left over 67,000 dead, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Ahmed Temraz skeptical a deal can be reached, saying Gaza is a graveyard for the living. Our lives are not a toy in your hands. It's enough. David, President Trump today meeting with freed American hostage Edan Alexander at the White House and the family of Oman Yutra, whose body is still being held by Hamas, saying tonight, we are very close to making a deal that'll bring peace to the Middle East. David?
In panel with us from Tel Aviv, who's been covering this war from the start. Ian, thank you. When we come back, a hot air balloon crashing into power lines, the images coming in, and there's news on the pilot's condition tonight. Also, the crane into a home, the truck with a crane on it, the truck lifting off the ground as the crane smashes right through that roof. And later, America Strong. Tonight, you have to see this. The grandmother in desperate need, the hero dog that went for help, how the dog knew exactly what to do, going up to the deputy's car. And you'll see this in a moment. Tonight, the crane crashing into a home in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, near Trenton. Aerial video showing the long arm of a crane nearly slicing through the roof of this home. That crane was mounted on a truck that actually lifted off the ground. No one was hurt. When we come back here, a hot air balloon crashing into power lines. There's news on the pilot tonight. And then that hero dog. Tonight, authorities are calling him the real-life Lassie, and you'll see why.
Tonight, members of the Texas National Guard are now stationed at a military facility outside Chicago. They've been mobilized by President Trump, who's repeatedly said that crime is out of control in the city. Now, we're learning what they'll be tasked with. Late today, an official with the U.S. Border Patrol in Chicago spoke with CNN's Priscilla Alvarez.
Facility protection, obviously, is going to be front and center to that, whether it's the Broadview facility or any other federal facility that may need protection. The National Guard will be deployed there. And again, that frees up agents that are now helping to protect those facilities. So it's facility protection and then quick response forces if needed.
Illinois and Chicago are suing to stop the deployment of federalized National Guard troops. A federal judge is going to hear the case Thursday. Meantime, a judge in Oregon has temporarily halted the deployment, of the National Guard in Portland. But the president said again today that he'll consider invoking the Insurrection Act if the courts block him.
It's been invoked before, as you know. If you look at Chicago, Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple.
The president's getting support from some Senate Republicans who say he needs to keep all options on the table. Limited clashes between protesters and law enforcement in both cities this past weekend are adding fuel to the president's arguments that troops are needed. We'll check in with Shimon Prokupecz in Portland in a moment, but I want to begin with CNN's Omar Jimenez in Chicago. So we heard the specifics from Border Patrol commander about what the Guard is expected to do in Chicago, basically protecting buildings. Is that what local officials are expecting, primarily facility protection?
Well, I'm sure based on what we've heard from local officials to this point, that seems to be one of the clearest indications of what they can expect at this point, that if these National Guard troops are deployed to federal buildings, then it frees up agents to do other things. But what we've seen over the course of today is essentially the beginning of this chapter that we had heard had been coming for quite some time. We've been tracking the movements here at this Army Reserve Training Center outside Chicago. And really over the course of the day, I mean, first of all, they put up this fence in the hours after the Texas National Guard deployed here. And you can actually see maybe with these lights, there's a few military uniformed personnel coming in and out of these barracks, at least as what they appear to be. Earlier, there was a lot more movement as well as we sort of started seeing them to arrive here in this area. The question, though, is now that the Texas National Guard is here, what will the scope of their deployment actually look like? Will it just be to protect federal property and personnel, as we sort of have heard to this point, or will it be more community facing, which has been one of the concerns from folks in the community who have had multiple run-ins with federal immigration enforcement to this point? So that's one of the lingering questions. Now that we know they're here, what's next, Anderson?
All right, Omar Jimenez, thanks very much. Joining me now, former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. I mean, does this make any sense to you? This is now deployment of the National Guard, not for crime in Chicago, it's for facility protection to free up resources of, I guess, ICE.
Hey, look, public safety is a serious issue, and I don't think it's being dealt very seriously by the president or his effort. They've, as far as I can tell, never reached out to Superintendent Snelling, very good superintendent, and asked him, okay, what do you need?
Superintendent
Chicago, or in any city for that matter, or Los Angeles or Portland or any city. What do you need? I mean, the basic strategy of reducing crime is putting more police on the street and getting kids, gangs, and guns off the street. There's a ton of things the federal government could partner with a local who know the area. And National Guard from Texas They don't know Grand Crossing. They don't know Englewood. They don't know Woodlawn. They don't know any of these communities. I think defunding the police was a stupid idea. I think sending in the National Guard is a ridiculous idea. It's about community policing, knowing the neighborhoods, knowing the residents of that neighborhood, and working with them. And I think this is something the president's always wanted to do in search of a reason for doing it.
It seems also now an equation of, there was the American carnage or the first time around. I mean, this is an extension of, these cities are hellholes, they're falling apart. Even though Dave Axelrod was on the program last night reading what the Trump Hotel is advertising in Chicago, and it sounds lovely there right now, actually, according to Trump Hotel. But this is equating crime also then with immigration and immigrants, and that's the linkage here.
Anderson, everybody wants law and order. None of this is following the law, and it's definitely creating more disorder than order. As simple as that. And, I'm sure David said this, but his condo is right there on the Riverwalk. I mean, his hotel and his building and condos. Condos are going for millions of dollars. That's not disorder. That's not crime on a. There's a crime problem. Full stop. There's a public safety problem.
Yes. We back in the building with another podcast vlog, and this is RDP, aka Raw Dope Podcast Vlog, and I'm your host, Han 5000. And usually I'll be saying good morning, but I got to say good evening. Listen. We got a few things. We got open topic too, man. I want to jump into it. We'll talk about a few things, open topic. But welcome home to POOH SHIESTY. POOH SHIESTY came home, and the speculations is out there. Big 30 greed them, POOH SHIESTY and them. They embrace each other. 30 held it down for us, man. Shout out to POOH SHIESTY. We're gonna play a little clip from that. But the Little Durk, my man, one of my favorite artists. One of the dudes I got a lot of love and respect for in the music industry, and one dude that I'm praying for him and hoping that he make out in this situation because he's in a tough situation. Now there's been a lot of wild shit going on. I'm gonna play y'all what some of the vlogs was talking about. I'm gonna play some news clippings about it, the update on Lil Durk. But right now, the troops has arrived in Illinois. The president has deployed troops from Texas to Illinois. And this is a thing that I want to get into, the deployment of troops in the United States. If you're in the comment box, right? What is that movie called that just came out not too long ago where the dude would say that we're American too? And the dude asks him, what type of American are you? What was the name of that movie? Anybody in the comment section right now. And listen, if you just came in my house and you rocking out with RDP, aka Raw Dope Podcast, please hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. I don't even got the Cash App up there to ask y'all for nothing. So tonight, man, just when you step in the house and you rocking out with me, man, just be polite enough and double tap that. You know what I mean? Just like this. Just double tap it. Double tap the screen. Take your hand. Bop, bop, bop. And you hit it twice. But the troops are being, anybody know the name of that movie, by the way, but the troops are being deployed inside the United States, and it's not a national disaster. The first place of deployment that the troops were close to my city. You know what I mean? Our cousins, DC. And you know what I'm saying? They locked up a lot of men down there. It's still crime happening in DC. I don't think at the highest rate that it was maybe 90 days ago since the troops been in there. And the troops are doing corrupt shit. You know how it go. But to see the president of the United States just deploying the troops to some of these Democratic black towns are just crushing. But also, I'm not even going to fault the president for having this rational way of thinking or this ignorant way of thinking. I'm gonna have to shift the responsibility to the black and the brown community. We have been destroying and fucking up our community, whereas though the governor, the mayors, the congressmen ain't shit they can do about it. So it's making it seem like they ain't doing their job. They're not trying to send the police and make it and overpack the jails. I get it. I get the selective politics when it comes to certain things, but overall, when if you keep fucking up, bro, and you keep having things out of order, people of a higher power come in there to clean shit up when they see it get out of order. I'm sorry, bro. We can't govern our own communities and treat the communities that they put us in and turn them into golden opportunities. Man, you're gonna see more than this. You know what I mean? The certain people in Chicago don't have to worry about the troops the same way certain areas in DC did not have to worry about the troops. They got a red map They got a red map where they're targeting. Before they go into these cities, they got specifics where they targeting, and it's where black people at, and it's where brown people at. I promise you, they won't hit no trailer parks. I promise you, trailer parks in them wooded areas are not in the rhythm. They're not in the ghettos, the projects, the back blocks. Wherever the brown and the disadvantaged minority, pay for Section 8 and pay for their rent at, that's where they deploying them troops at. They're deploying them troops where we call home. Our neighborhoods, what we love. Our neighborhoods, our ran down houses that our grandmothers paid 40 years for. That neighborhood, that's where they're sending the troops at. They're not going where Harbor Theater at. You know what I mean? If anything, they down there smiling and shaking them people's hands. They're going in the ghetto, man, to get the ghettos back, bro. Because the streets got so tough and the gangs got so violent and things got so out of hand that the governor can't handle it. And the governors are black and they're Democratic in some of these states. Some of these states are Caucasians and Democratic. They don't want to send excessive force by the police department because they know what that could lead to. So they trying to hold and protect the people, and the people fucking up. And now the president, the commander-in-chief, is taking matters into his own hands and deploying the troops that's out there to protect the country. They supposed to protect the land. Now they coming in the land to put the people in compliance. That's tough. You know what I mean? That's tough. I don't believe in my heart that Trump will have a third term. That's not the way the United States work. And if he tries that, it's gonna be hell up in it's going to be hell on Pennsylvania Avenue. He won't get a third term. That's what he's aiming with this power. This is the power struck, but man, you know what I'm saying? Certain things that he's doing is out of order. Certain things that he's doing is understandable because you make the bed and you lay in it. But certain things, man, like, come on, Trump. Some of the things, like I said, when Trump was running for office, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't even vote. But some of the things that Trump stands for and do, I understand. I get it. Just being a businessman myself. But some of this shit is like most people with power. Once they get in position, they start abusing the power and doing every fucking thing under the sun. That's a known fact with people. People just don't know how to have the power and transform the power into a power thing and have the people respect that the power and the title you hold. People with power make the people hate them, and only their kind and supporters of their kind support them. And that's where it's at with the president. I gotta first and foremost, the president wasn't in office for 4 years. And the ghettos of America, Chicago hit record numbers. Baltimore hit record numbers. St. Louis hit record numbers. Louisiana hit record numbers. And bro, it ain't Donald Trump family and them Republicans that's sitting in the White House dying. It ain't them. It ain't the white boys going to jail. It ain't them. It's black and Hispanics are going to jail, are killing each other, bro. That's what's going on. So it's like, damn, bro, it's like having a bunch of wild animals out there and they won't get along. What do you do when a bunch of wild animals don't get along? You got to put them to sleep. They start attacking their owners. You get what I'm saying? What happens when a dog, an out of control dog, run out the house and bite somebody? He gets put to sleep. And because he gets put to sleep, because they say the owner should have had better control of it. And that's where it comes when it comes to our ghettos, our trenches, our trap, the hood, whatever you want to call it, bro. We just say fuck it and disrespect it. And some of our neighborhoods are prime real estate. If we clean it up and dress it up, some of them are centrally located on bus routes, subway routes. Some people of other cultures know how to use the areas that we're in to their advantage. Why you think they coming for this shit? Why you think they coming for this shit? Hey, you want to be in jail? You want to be in jail? But I'm just saying, though, I'm not with the troops coming and harming our people, but I'm just saying I could see why. And hey, y'all want to grill me in the comments and say whatever. I could see why, bro. I could see why, sis. It's just out of order. We out of order, bro. I was out of order when I was in the streets. You out of order if you still in the streets, bro, because we not showing no fucking conglomerate. We not showing no loyalty. So we don't have no clinch fix to fight. You know what I mean? We didn't even have no blacks running. You know what I mean? Like you only got real black people running for office nowadays, bro. It's a tough thing, man. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, need 10 of them. I ain't off topic, bro. I'm on the same thing. Deployment to Chicago. Then I'm gonna get to the dirt. Then I'm gonna get to the urban novels. But I like to either start or in my show or in the middle of my show. No matter what I do it, I like to give common knowledge. I'm a hip hop head. I created my platform to cover news, hip hop, entertainment, and ex convicts. That's what I'm into. So I never made my channel about digging in the crates of politics, but I do give my personal opinion as a non-voting citizen of the United States, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't getting off top. You know, I ain't getting off top. If you read the description, it say troops being deployed in the states. You know what I mean? I'm worried about that because you know what I'm saying. I still have friends and family that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't live in a world of reality that could potentially get caught up in that. You get what I'm saying? And then when you send the army, it's like it's a war. So dudes is like, what the army gonna do? Like they hold you as hostage when the army lock you up. What happens? You get held as a crime. I don't know, man. But hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Man, man, it's a blessing, man. My big cousin in the joint, man. Shout out to my cousin Tyrone, man, Peterson, man. He been home for a minute now, man. Cuz did a long time behind the door, man. He's home. He's I haven't spoken to him in a while, cuz you gotta hit me in a DM on Facebook so we can swap numbers out. And I haven't seen you yet, man. Last time I seen you, man, Uncle Dixie Boy, man. I seen you since then through Facebook, man. But that's my big cousin there, man. I know y'all heard me saying I got a lot of big cousins, a lot of OGs, and I got family that I do truly love, but I don't fuck with them like that. But that's one of my cousins right there. This OG cousin I got nothing but love and respect for. You know what I'm saying? Big Cuz was locked up so long. We used to just always talk about Big Cuz. Like Big Cuz, man. We remember Uncle Dixie Boy funeral. He crushed us for acting like we was gonna fuck the song up. Like Shorty ain't even play with us. Like he got straight to the point. And you know, that's what's missing. See, I'm glad I'm on that topic because my cousin, see how we were kids, 12, 13 years old, and we were playing games at one of his favorite uncle's funeral. He wouldn't let my Uncle Dixie Boy, Kevin Peterson. You see Tyrone Peterson up there. He wasn't laughing. He didn't come to laugh and joke. And we was kids and we was little cousins, loved us to death. You know what I mean? But he wasn't playing. And we was on playing time. He put us back in our place. And they took him off the streets. They took him off the streets a long time ago. My cousin right there, Tyrone Peterson. They took him off the streets a long time ago. And I think to this day, if he was on the streets, would he have made us better criminals, or he would have never let us engage in criminal activities? Because at one point he had that much control. Just as a big cousin, no, he didn't buy tons of tennis shoes. No, he didn't see him kill nobody. No, he didn't do nothing. His presence as an older cousin, as our teenage cousin in his early 20s, he don't joke and play with his little cousins. He kept us in our place when he was around. We didn't play no disrespect. We walked the straight line when he was around because he was a young man that kept his little cousins in place. Shout out to my cousin, man. Make sure y'all go follow his YouTube channel. Man, I'm from Baltimore, so the way I talk, Jimmy, is the way I talk, Jimmy Dean, bro. I'm quite sure you don't say your adjectives, nouns, and verbs correctly either, bro. Let's get back into this deployment, man. But shout out to my cousin, man.
If you're thinking about
then I can't wait to get into that bread and butter, that little dirt, little POOH, SHIESTY. Little bit. What's up with this young Jeezy snitch? I might hit y'all in here tonight.
Visited kids in hospital. There's a way for the federal government to say we're going to fund and train police officers and recruits.
And then y'all know, if you with me right now, it's 11:29, and I'm getting back in. Listen, bro. The goal is to go the goal is to go from yesterday to January the 1st, and then maybe take a week off to regroup for the top of the year. But I've been slacking, and no matter how mad I get and no matter how stressed I get, I have to bring content. I gotta get in this basement and I gotta create content. So please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and man, I like everybody that like me. If you don't like me, I don't like you. Now, I mean, if you subscribe to my channel, man, I really appreciate that. And you can get to know me on this channel by just going to look at my work, and I guarantee you come back and say, that's a stand-up man right there. I fucks with him. Let's get back to it.
200 officers, not even one of the 22 districts. It doesn't even add up. So the idea you're going to bring public safety to a city where the problem is not just about police officers, that's a central piece of this, or law enforcement. But there's another set of components on prosecution, investments in after-school programs, a whole set of things that the government can do.
Yeah.
The 200 guardsmen from Texas who don't know any of the community or any of the residents of the city of Chicago are not going to do anything on public safety, and they're definitely not going to do anything on immigration efforts.
I mean, there have been some who suggested that.
And I mean that by when the president said we're going to go after criminal elements, that is different than what he's doing, taking people that are following the law, going to court, following the procedures of the law, and nabbing them. That's why I said this is not either fighting crime or enforcing the immigration laws according to.
There have been some who've said that they think this is a sort of an idea of like normalizing the presence of U.S. military forces or National Guard forces in major cities.
Yeah, I don't know. This is bringing back my old White House days. Right about now, across.
Hello. What up, fam? What up, y'all? What up, y'all?
It's the National Defense.
I know my channel gonna get lit because I posted one on at 12.
That's gonna say.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all?
What up, y'all? Iran, Russia.
Eyes on
here
here.
In that document, that
My
the
Brody.
American cities are the equal threat to our security,
My
like
Brody.
China, Iran, and weapons of mass destruction.
That's my brother right
And if
there.
you're
Yo,
not,
shout out to my
then
brother
what is
Stephen
this?
Hines,
And if
man.
you
Another
are,
brother that I love.
then you're
Just did
gonna follow
20
through
years
with
in
the President
prison.
of the United States, that the
Home
cities
mentor.
we're going to use them.
Hold
as
up, this is my
training
channel.
grounds. Is a former.
When any of my brothers or cousins come in here and they honorable men or women, I'm gonna show them respect. That S. Lewis right there, that's my brother Haas right there, man. My brother did 19 years in prison, 19 plus years in prison, came up in and out the juvenile system, came home from prison and making a powerful impact from the Eastern Shore all the way to Baltimore City, man. So if y'all could just do that, man, throw them highs up or put a sign in there for the brother, man. Home, man. Didn't come home mad at the system, didn't come home mad at everybody. Came home straight, got to it, bro. And he still got his swag. He still can dress. You know what I mean? 19 years of the P now. You know what I mean? Boy, come over, still got his swag, man. So shout out to my man Haas, and I can't wait until he jump in the studio with me. My man Jay, my man Haas, Hot Dog. I'm having an exclusive episode on Raw Dope Podcast with dudes that been behind the door. Some of my childhood friends that I grew up with and grew up in prison with. I'm gonna put them all on the podcast, man, and we gonna talk about it. And also be on the lookout for my new series coming out with Boxing Barry. We're gonna do a 5-part series to raise awareness on that. If you want to know who Boxing Barry is, Google the name Boxing Barry. You know what I mean? He gonna be on the phone. He gonna tell his story. His story is deep. It's gonna have you dropping to your knees crying. And we gonna have him on some live shit so y'all can really ask questions face to face. But if you just stepped in my house and you just stepped in my house, do me one thing, man. Do me one favor, man. Do the right thing. See, my grandmother, you came to your house, you had to, take your shoes off in the vestibule. Once you took your shoes off, you had to wash your hands. You had to wash your hands before you did anything in there. So they the two things that I learned in the house. So when you do something for me, instead of taking your shoes off and washing your hands, hit the like button, then take your shoes off, then go wash your hands, then roll up, and then you rolling with me. Other than that, you faking. 26 people in here, 10 likes. Come on, y'all. It don't cost you nothing. Bow, bow, bow. Hit the notification, hit the button. You guys ain't going to donate to the channel. You ain't going to give me no money if I put the cash in, none of that. You could at least like the video, and you're in my house, man. So you got to like the video. We got to throw you the fuck out. Let's go, man. So pray for them boys out in Chicago, because my DC homeboy say it ain't no motherfucking joke when them National Guards out there. A few honorable men went down. So everybody's talking about dirt now. Everybody know. Let me get into this. Everybody know that Dirt's about to go to trial. So because Dirt's about to go to trial, I think it's in January or February. Lil Durk's going to trial. So we had the Diddy trial going on. We had Melly. They pushed Melly shit to 2027. We had a lot going on, this year with that court system, state and federal, Young Thug. We had a lot going on with the court system. So the content has just been buzzing this year. But the boy Dirt, out of all the controversy that was going on, they smacked us with everything. The Brick Baby, the Big U shit, the Diddy trial, the Wine and Melly. God damn it. Now the dude David. They smacked us with so much stuff that you kind of like OTF. The name OTF, Only the Family, is a huge name that we love and respect. The whole Chicago drill scene. Little Dirt is part of the pioneers of that. Little Dirt, Chief Keef, Quando Rondo, Lil Reese. You know what I mean? Look, Quando Rondo in prison. Little Reese in prison. Little Dirt facing the trial. Chief Keef living his life. Chief Keef living his life. As my man Keeping It a G News would say, Chief Keef was an industry plant, but I tell him, come on, man. Chief Keef was just a talented kid from Chicago that had family that got him away from that shit. But anyway, Dirt is a Muslim. And I don't know him personally, but through his music and his interviews, I feel like I know the little nigga. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? He one of us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's like us. Dirt trial is coming up soon, and I don't think Dirt trial is going to be delayed like Melly. You know what I'm saying? I think it's 7 of them on the case. It's a federal thing. I don't think he waived none of his hicks or whatever rights he got. But Dirt's pretty much the top of next year. We'll know Little Dirt fate before my birthday, and that's April the 7th. We'll know if Dirt guilty or not guilty before April the 7th or 2026. Or it could change. But before the summer, before midway summer, we'll know Dirt fate next year. So lately, you know, the vlogs are going crazy. Two things is the vlogs are going crazy about, especially vlogs I watch, is Young Jeezy. That's a part of the open talking, but Dirt. So now they saying Dirt is accused of trying to put hits out on friends for not, you know, riding for Vaughn. All this so crazy stuff. Dirt lawyer came hard at the feds. Everybody seen the posters. Dirt lawyer files for the motion. And you know what they supposed to do? The feds firing back. Anybody that been incarcerated or have friends or family been incarcerated with the U.S. government, the feds, the BOP, they tell you they some dirty motherfuckers. They tell you it's not no way they won't go. Look at Diddy. They brought up the charges that he beat to sentence him in his trial. So we just know the feds are some dirty motherfuckers. Barely you come out on top with the feds, especially if you got a violent RICO case. You know what I mean? A violent RICO case that just consists of murder. That's just bad. And you got 7 co-defendants, and then you got a rack of other dudes, right? In the Dirt situation. You know, Dirt name, and you know, these young Chicago rappers, really Dirt, Lil Reese, King Von, a lot of them, names be ringing bells outside of music. Because you got dudes that go to jail, you got dudes that come from Chicago. So some of these dudes, especially Vaughn and a lot of these dudes, they really rapping what they live in. Dirt's caught up in so much shit, the way as though you don't know what smoking witnesses that the U.S. government had. That's what make the Dirt case so weird and sticky. You don't know what the government got, because it's just easy as a government could just say, hey, you facing life in prison, you're going home tomorrow if you sign on this dotted line and come to work for us. You get what I'm saying? Come to work for us. As of today, the OTF run is over with. Dirt is not relevant anymore. Not meaning that Dirt's washed up and we not fucking with Dirt the fans, but to those niggas that he was taking care of, to those niggas that he was breaking bread with, he's irrelevant now. Some of them niggas might got in their mind that Dirt's going to jail for the rest of his life. Like, you know, they counted Boosie out. They count a lot of people out. You know what I mean? One thing I learned from being incarcerated is that it can look bad on paper, but it turns a different way in the courtroom. It could look good on paper and turn bad in the courtroom. Courtrooms and cases are just some scary shit you don't want to be involved in, especially when you're dealing with a crooked government and dealing with a bunch of dudes that don't want to be men and not take their lick. You get what I'm saying? So, what? Yeah, that's a YG. Nah, you niggas do things that I never would do. Yeah, nah. But let's get to this, man.
Procedure.
Hit that notification button, man. 10 likes, 25p win. Come on, let the lights match the river. I gotta spark me up. So I play little clips from all these dudes because I let these dudes do the research they sell. My homegirl, Christina too, man, she jumping back on board. So that's gonna be like my research queen. Like, she a beast with that shit. If I tell her go get it, she gonna go get it. Real talk. She ain't gonna play no games. So I'm gonna have to get me I'm gonna call that RDP private investigator. She gonna dig the crates up for me. You know what I mean? She probably tap me at night. Oh, hold up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's hear what these dudes got to talk about. My man right here, though. I like him. I'm gonna go see what keeping it a G.
Big Ant, the spokesman, man, we back.
I'm watching YouTubers such as myself get gray hair. Niggas been in the game for a minute.
At all times, man. Had to come tap in as it's about 2 weeks away from Lil Durk being a full year in since he was taken into federal custody last October, where he was eventually indicted and charged for his alleged role of a murder for hire plot that he was in support of and had co-defendants on from OTF that allegedly was planning to take out Quando Rondo, but took Lil Pab's life instead. And most definitely condolences to the entire family of Lil Pab, no matter who's innocent or guilty or what happened or didn't happen. That somebody lost life, his family is still grieving. So most definitely condolences and God bless to them. Well, with this case, it's been a lot of back and forth. This is a full year now. He's been denied bond several times. The dates of the trial have continued to get pushed back. Durk's legal team has made several attempts to get this case thrown out. There's been a bunch of rumors surrounding it, but I only want to come on here and speak the facts as a motion was filed yesterday to get the case thrown out, and that led into a whirlwind of all type of stuff in the news now. While the indictment alleges the co-conspirators carried out various acts at the direction of Mr. Banks, flying to Los Angeles, tracking, stalking, and attempting to kill Quando Rondo by gunfire and procuring the firearms and equipment used to do so, it fails to give any specifics. Attorney Drew Filling writes, when, where, how, and to whom did Mr. Banks give these alleged directions? To ensure the basic fairness of this trial, the defense is entitled to know. What the indictment fails to tell us are the very things the defense is entitled to know. The operative facts underlining the government's theories of Mr. Banks' guilt, he continues. There is no allegation here that Mr. Banks physically participated in the stalking and shooting at issue. A hearing on the motion is currently expected to take place on November 18th. But other things hit the media today. One of them began to say that he had put other people in place and said that he was going to get all block members killed allegedly for not carrying out revenge for King Von. As this is all alleged, as they say that they have witnesses here, this is an alleged conversation supposedly through text messages and DMs where they said that he was in contact and telling them to pipe it up the members for not carrying out revenge or retaliation for what had happened to King Von years ago. And it says evidence that defendant Banks and OTF members were involved in the murder of SR discussed violence against another rival of defendant Banks and defendant Banks' direction. Specifically on April 2023, thread between Banks, defendant Wilson, Bonnie Moe, and Devontae Collier, aka Zoo, wherein defendant Banks sends a screenshot of an Instagram message he sent to Richard Ramsey. So they supposedly had somebody with a witness on that who was putting up this information as well. Supposedly, we don't know who that is exactly. But then they had came back and said that they caught Lil Durk with an Apple Watch in jail that he eventually destroyed. And that is why they want to keep their jurors private, because they say that he has the means to try to do witness tampering and affect the case. Prosecutors are alleging that Lil Durk was caught with an Apple Watch in August and tried to destroy it before authorities could seize it. They laid out the claim in a motion requesting an anonymous jury for its upcoming trial. They argued the alleged incident raises concerns of the possibility of witness tampering. In late August 2025, BOP officials seized an Apple Watch with cellular capability from defendant. The motion reads, even more troubling is Banks' conduct after he was caught. Rather than accept responsibility for this violation, defendant allegedly obstructed the investigation, attempted to damage and or destroy the communications device. And there's a lot of activity going on around with this case right now. Everything is alleged still innocent until
now. If Dirk got the Apple Watch in jail, And somebody let me know because I never had an Apple Watch. And the phone is nowhere around. Don't the phone have to be near you to use the Apple Watch? Like, our teachers probably got locked up with the Apple Watch on and they never took it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And then he did what he's supposed to do. He destroyed it. Even if it wasn't working, what was he supposed to do? Let him grab his watch if he was doing anything? I don't think Dirk is stupid enough to even say nothing about the witnesses. The most that Dirk can do is put the witnesses out there. And then I guess that's what they're saying. He can put the witnesses out there and then the fishermen go fishing. You get him? So I don't think he's going to put no money or tell nobody to happen to no federal witness because you can get life in prison or 20 years in prison outside of your case for that shit. Yo, you already booked. He just want the evidence that's against me so my defense team can have we could be prepared to go to trial this February. That's it. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment.
That accusation that you were saying going to kill other people who did not want to retaliate.
Okay.
Sending people through the hood. There's a witness that's supposed to be testifying that. Supposed to be other witnesses on the case. Now, with this Apple Watch here coming into a thing, that could be either or where you could say, hey, man, I just had an Apple Watch to talk on, communicate with my family, and that's what that was for. This isn't about me using this as a weapon, but when you get caught with these type of with this type of contraband in there, it's all about who can win the narrative with the judge with these motions right here. Now, you're not supposed to have no phone and no Apple Watch on there. Let's get that very clear. But they are saying, hey, he can use this device because he doesn't want to. He's going against the system. He's being disobedient to the laws. It looks bad in the courtroom. It looks bad on paper. But they using that as the narrative. Hey, he out here still doing crime. He out here still on his watch. And any day and time, he can send a hit once he get the witnesses or the people that are going to be on the jury. He's going to send them the info and tell people to go get them gone and things. That's the way they going to go for the gusto. That's how the feds move. That's how the feds operate. This case has been all over the place. And I tell you like this right here, we don't know what the outcome of this is. All you can say is alleged right now. Nothing has been officially confirmed. But we've seen these type of cases before, and we've seen them turn out real bad. And this is why I say the best thing you can do is stay out the way. Even just moving away from Dirk case, just having a conversation in general within these last 5 years in hip hop, the amount of RICO indictments we've seen, the amount of cases that we've seen played out in real time, day to day, play by play, move by move. We can look it up, read it. It's showing you the dark side of this game and why you do not want to be involved in this type of stuff at all. With the technology that they have now, everything with this one is alleged and allegedly, but we've seen in the past the type of cell phone reading, the cell phone towers pinging, the surveillance, everything is being recorded in the world. There's always a paper trail when it comes to these things if they know where to look. That'd be the thing. If you do a crime like a murder, that's something different because once they know where to look on the murder, then they can go trace everything back when you show them where you was at. They can go look at this, look where the cars got swapped. It just be a whole storyline that we've seen in these last couple years with this. Now with Dirk case, they is pushing that narrative. They're gonna try to make him look terrible in the courtroom. They're gonna try to make him look
That's
like
what they
a menace
do.
to society. They don't care about how much good he's done in the community. This is how they operate. This is how they act. That's their goal, to make it look like you don't have a soul. Nah, they want
I'm
all
locked
the
in,
documents.
man.
They want
Auction
all
them
the
up.
evidence, Dirk's team, because they like, hey, before we go to trial, we want to look at all this. We want to be able to add everything up. We want to see everything that y'all have. And a lot of this stuff is not pointing to this direction of saying that y'all have him on anything solid. They going to go with their move. They going to go with their move right here. But I just tell anybody this. This is that dark side of this game. This is that dark side of being in the streets. If you active and you really out here like that. We don't know what's what for sure yet, but more facts is coming. We do know these storylines, man, they get crazier and crazier throughout the day. And I tell anybody that's a young nigga right now, bro, trust me, you do not want to go through this, nigga. Now,
No.
You gotta lay in it. You gotta sleep in it. You gotta wake
That's
up
what I'm
in
saying.
it. And you gonna be up in it inside that field.
That's what I'm saying.
Inside that field, inside that cell with the feds for a long time.
Yeah, man, that's tough, man. Like, well, Lord Dirt, just being at the, me, coming up, my whole life, as we come up as a kid, we want to be in the music industry, man, and we try for this shit, but then dudes get in this industry and it be crazy, bro, and I guess it's just come with the territory, but man. Boy, you get a piece of money, man. I thought you just supposed to go in, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, bro, I moved so motherfucking far away from Chicago, bro. Like, god damn, shorty. Like, these niggas be getting knocked off, bro. It's like making it. It's like making it is like, yo, once you make it, go to jail. Fuck no. Hell no, bro. I want to know. I want to know, like, for real, like, I want to read the Diddy book after he get out of jail. Like, I really want to talk to some, dudes that have the weight of the world. Drug dealers that had the weight of the world scammers, but that's breaking the law. One day that shit could come to an end. But making money in music, entertainment, any type of making big legal money. How do you make big legal money? Had the world at your foot to go and lock in a cell with niggas, bro, that just been doing in and out of jail their whole life, bro. Like, that shit got to be hard on a motherfucker with some money, bro. I can't sit up here and play with you, bro. I've been in prison too many times, bro. I done been hurt knowing I got a little 30 ball in the house. Now I gotta go sit this 14, 15 months. Like, bro, it's killing me. You know what I mean? Come home, that 30 ball, 13,000 because your people done ran all the way through it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. Like, you niggas making legitimate money. I mean, King Von is dirt, man, and I guess you gotta ride for your brother and all that shit, bro. But it's levels to this shit, yo. The Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, is the biggest reason why that kid Dirt, had that shit on his mind like that, paying attention to them comments, hearing people talk. I'm just saying, bro, like, what the fuck more do they want you to do? Quando Rondo from motherfucking Georgia. We from Chicago. This murder takes place in Atlanta. Hella niggas from Chicago get killed. It's a lifelong beef. But y'all want me to start this man in every fucking state. Like, he from the state of Georgia. Vaughn got killed in his backyard. Like, bro, that even, I be like, yo, what do got street, you know, you know, that street knowledge come from? Like, yo, it's an out of state beef. Like, bro, like, we can't run around like, yo, the police might gonna get locked up for this shit. You get what I'm saying? Somebody going to jail for this shit. Dirt, that shit gotta die out. Can't pay attention to nobody, man. When we run across him, we run across him. Until then, man, hey, rest in peace, Vaughn. Let's take care of people and get to the money, because you gotta move in silence with this, bro. Like, it can't be that. I feel like with the Dirt case, too many people was involved. The nigga Brick Baby was out of order. That's the California Crip nigga that start talking about the shit at first. Like, too many people just playing the internet and playing the content game with reality. They playing the content game with reality and not even their reality. That's the fucked up part about the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. People play the fucking consequent games without their reality. They play on other people's reality, bro. Vaughn is a real live nigga that was helping Dirt make hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And he rep the same gang he rep. This is a big thing. And then he, you took him from O Block to show him better things, but he with you and on your watch. That's a big enough headache. Now you niggas talking about just go commit a wild murder and do the rest of my life in jail. That's what happened. That's what could potentially happen here. All that riding shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Vaughn in the dirt. King Louis in the dirt. So many niggas in the dirt in jail, bro. Like, a fucking dynasty just gone to waste because there's no thinking motherfuckers around. It's no thinking motherfuckers around. There ain't no thinking motherfuckers, yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I just feel like, you know what I mean? It's too much, bro. Fuck that, bro. You ain't ready to tell me Sonny Nash is, Sonny Nash real messy like a girl. So Sonny Nash is he said he just dropped something. Let's see what he talking about. You know what I mean? Dude, Ghost. PlayStation. The PlayStation look like the old school. I think I'm gonna get a PlayStation 6. I ain't fucking with the 5. I'm gonna get the 6. I'm gonna stay Xbox, but I'm getting the PlayStation 6.
Internet is
Hit that
calling
notification.
OTF Diddy a snitch. I'm gonna just make a long story short. He's not a snitch, and I'm gonna prove it. Spoilers ahead. You're gonna be very upset with what I decide to say. Harbaugh, we know how to say that name because of Jim John Harbaugh. Well, me personally. United States of America versus DURK Banks defended Wilson's motion to sever hearing date November 18, 2025. To the Honorable Court, all parties in the counsel of record. Defendant DeAndre Wilson, by and through his counsel of record, Craig A. Harbaugh, hereby moves this court for an order severing his trial from that of co-defendant DURK Banks and any other co-defendants whose trials are joined with Mr. Banks. Now, y'all are saying he's snitching by saying Lil Durk's name all throughout here. I'm going to show y'all why you guys actually got this one wrong, but I understand exactly what the hell y'all talking about. This motion is made pursuant to Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 14 on the ground that a joint trial will cause compelling and incurable prejudice to Mr. Wilson as a result of prejudicial spillover from extensive other acts evidence noticed by the government that overwhelmingly concerns Mr. Banks and other alleged actors and would not be admissible against Mr. Wilson if he were tried alone. Meaning y'all gonna add all this stuff about Lil Durk and have me sitting over here right next to him. But if y'all pay attention, the key thing that he said right here, and I need y'all to really, really take this one home, right? It literally says that a joint trial will cause compelling and incurable prejudice to Mr. Williams as a result of judicial spillover from extensive acts evidence noticed by the government that overwhelmingly concerns who? So he's saying that, hey, bro, the feds, y'all really want Lil Durk. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. The motion is based on this notice, the attached memorandum of points and authorities, the government's initial Rule 404B, notice date September 1st, 2025, all files and records in this case, and authorities cited herein, and any further evidence and argument the court may permit. Respectfully submitted, dated October 6th, Craig Harbaugh. And we just gonna skip all of this crap right here. These are who they are using and blah, blah, blah. Memorandum of points and authorities. Introduction. At the outset, DeAndre Wilson does not concede that the government's notice is adequate under Rule 404B, that the alleged acts are supported by competent evidence, survive a Rule 403 analysis, or that they are admissible against anyone in this case. Mr. Wilson will join defendant DURK Banks' motion in limine to exclude government's proposed FRE 404B evidence filed in contemporaneously and fully expects the court to exclude the extraneous, no, I'm not going to say that. I never know how to say that word right. Extraneous, highly inflammatory evidence. But if the court were to allow the government to introduce this evidence, severance is the only way to protect Mr. Wilson's right to a fair trial. The government's notice sets forth extensive other acts evidence by almost entirely directed at co-defendant DURK Banks. Allegations of violent retaliation, murder plots, paid bounties, and directives to hunt rivals spanning multiple jurisdictions and years. By contrast, Mr. Wilson appears, if at all, only peripherally included in 2 text threads reflecting general chatter around Mr. Banks' alleged feud and threats in terms of both of severity and breadth. These allegations dwarf the current charges against Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson will be forced to devote extensive time and resources to get evidence that has almost nothing to do with him. A curative instruction will not suffice. Given the extensive inflammatory evidence, there is a grave risk that the jury will determine Mr. Wilson's guilt, not based upon the evidence, but based upon alleged violent acts of someone else. There is no way to ameliorate the prejudice to Mr. Wilson. Severance is required. He's basically saying this, hey, bruh, y'all putting me next to DURK when that's exactly who y'all want. I'm only in here on a couple of sentences, on a couple of text threads. So, bruh, let me go by myself. And anybody who's calling OTFDD a snitch, what he's basically saying is the evidence right here that we're about to read, because it's been popping up everywhere, is stuff that the government is saying that he did. He's not saying that it happened. And on top of that, Lil Durk is trying to sever himself from the case as well. So are y'all gonna call Lil Durk a snitch too?
Yeah, I didn't think so. So let's continue on, man. If you understand what I just said right there, hit that like button. Let us know some. Force this back into the algorithms. Man, we back doing our thing. Let's roll it. Background. On September 1st, 2025, the government severed its initial Rule 404B notice, or sorry, my bad. I said severed, my fault. Anyway, served its initial Rule 404B notice, identifying a series of alleged prior acts it intends to introduce as evidence as motive, intent, preparation, and plan by co-defendant DURK Banks' declaration of Craig A. Harbaugh, Exhibit A. The notice overwhelmingly targets Mr. Banks, and nearly all of the government-listed acts consist of alleged violent conduct, threats, or admissions by Mr. Banks. DeAndre Wilson is not identified in the bulk of these allegations, and where his name does appear, it is solely in connection with group text threads initiated and driven by Mr. Banks. Evidence related to Banks' rivalry with Tyquan Bowman. The first describes evidence of Mr. Banks' alleged efforts to exact revenge against Tyquan Bowman, aka Quando Rondo, following the 2020 killing of Devon Bennett, aka King Von. According to the government, it intends to introduce surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the murder of Bennett in Atlanta on Georgia, November 6, 2020. Surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempted murder of Bowman in Blackshear, Georgia, on or about May 2nd, 2021. Mr. Banks' lyrics and statements